You know, they say to be this good takes ages, but in my case, it was about 3 months of procrastination. Hi everyone, Dishonored Dan here, and it's time for something a little different on the channel. This is Sonic the Hedgehog CD. It's one of my favorite games in the series, so I figured, you know, well, why don't I record it, commentate over it, for shits and giggles, really. Wow. I don't really know what this... You can tell it's... In spite of all of the voiceover memes and whatnot that I've recorded, I really can't figure out what to say sometimes, so... In lieu of losing my place and all that sort of stuff, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop in every once in a while. I'm gonna put my voice down to almost nothing and then raise it back up when I have something to say, obviously in post. This is post commentary, so there's that. But I remember growing up, and I own the Sonic Mega Collection on the GameCube, which, you know, is one of the many collections that Sega released for Sonic. And I remember in the extras menu, they had the intro and outro for Sonic CD. So that's how I first learned about the game at the ripe young age of 4. So I didn't really know what exactly a Sega CD was. So to me, Sonic CD was sort of this game that it's like the hidden Sonic game that nobody really played or talked about, at least growing up, at least in terms of my little circle of the world. Because growing up, not really a lot of my classmates played Sonic or Mario. They centered more around the Call of Duties and Halos, whereas I grew up with the Marios and the Sonics. It was especially Sonic because that was the first game I ever played, actually. So this intro here, that is one of the very first things I've ever seen from Sonic. So starting off with Discount Green Hill Zone, or otherwise known as Palm Tree Panic. This game really likes its alliteration for some reason. I actually do really like CD. Alongside 3 and Knuckles, this is one of my favorite 2D Sonic games. I do like Mania. I know Mania gets talked about a lot, but let's go over the main gameplay mechanics. So what I did there, throughout the level, there are these past and future signs, and if you run into them, you have the ability to go into either the past or the future if you can run fast enough. So what I did there is I grabbed the past sign, I booked it, and now we're here in the past. So the main shtick with CD is that Eggman is here on this little planet called Little Planet to find these objects called the Time Stones, which allow someone to travel through time, and he basically is trying to create it to where he wins and roboticizes the future. There are 2 methods of getting the good ending in this game. One is going into the past and destroying a robot generator, which I do for the first few levels, but, and slight spoiler alert, I do get all the time stones for the special stages, which is the other option to getting the good ending. I do this mainly because I find it easier to do the special stages than getting the time stones. I find it easier to do the special stages and getting the time stones than destroying all the robot generators. I don't have the layouts of where the robot generators are. I know where a few of them are, but after like Quartz Quadrant Zone 2, that's really it. And yeah, these special stages, as you can see, are sort of a quasi 3D-ish thing. They get trippier as we go along, especially the last two. I should mention that how I'm playing this is with the 2011 re-release on the Xbox 360, which for some reason you can't buy anymore. I know Sega delisted, like, most, or I should say all of the classic Sonic games, 1, 2, 3, and Knuckles, at least on Steam, and I think 360 and PS3, but I don't think that really matters considering that the 360 store is down. Like they discontinued, or why did I say discontinued? They delisted 1, 2, 3, and Knuckles, but for some reason on Steam they still have 3D Blast, and actually no, they don't have that anymore because they delisted the Genesis Collection too. Why do they do this? I don't really understand the whole thing of delisting. Like, I get it, but I don't at the same time. I think it's really dumb. Because, like, there was that study, it was like last year, by I think the Video Game Preservation Society, or whatever it's called. And, like, 90-something percent of titles released between the 70s to, I think, the 2010s or whatever. I'll check later once I'm finished recording this, but suffice to say, a lot of titles are just not available to buy for some reason. And you'd think that a company like Sega, with all the resources at hand, that they would find a way to keep these titles on storefronts, especially considering like how many different re-releases they give their older titles, especially Sonic. I'll go back to gameplay. There's another thing that they have here in the past, which is a hologram of Metal Sonic just stomping on an animal for some reason. They're not mandatory in order to get the good ending, but doing so causes the animals to just pop out. You have to do this for an achievement in the re-release, which I think for that one you also have to get all the robot generators too. So, Special Stage 2. The UFO patterns, like this is probably the most deceptively simple of the special stages. Especially, I mean, the special stages themselves are deceptively simple. Like, you've got Blue Sphere, you've got the half pipe, but this one is just run around the area, destroy the UFOs. That's it. You've got a time limit. You can't touch the water or else you'll lose time. And it's about it. Luckily, I think here in Special Stage 2, I do get it down to around 20 seconds. At 20 seconds, what happens is another UFO appears, and when you destroy that, yeah, see right there. If you destroy it, you get more time, which you will see. I take advantage of this a lot because I was a little out of practice when I recorded this, which I didn't think I would need to practice Sonic CD, given it's probably the 2D game that I go back to the most. The first one probably being Sonic 3 and Knuckles, but yeah, I just didn't think I really needed to practice that much. But given how much I get screwed over with a certain penultimate level, you'll see. So, here's a fun tip for you. Don't take your time here. Go up top, get the invincibility, and just book it up here. Then super peel out, up top, jump, and just keep booking it. You want to get to the boss room here. And get behind it, then Eggman shows up, and just bop him 3 times because he can't hit you. And lo and behold, you have beaten the boss. Then book it down there, and if you're fast enough, like me, you will finish in under 30 seconds and get the maximum time bonus. The boss fights in this game are a little... they exist. Moving on to Collision Chaos. It's here where we're formally introduced to 2 new characters to the series at the time. There's Amy, and there's Metal Sonic. Bye. So, one thing that I know people have a problem with CD is its level design, which I can agree with. It's very weird. It's very vertical. And we'll see that more once we get to Wacky Workbench and the other stages. But I think Wacky Workbench is probably the worst offender with it in that regard. Which I'll try and save that when we actually get there. But there's, from what I remember, or what I'll show off once we get to... I'm covering a lot of stuff early. But there's a lot of things that you can get away with in the re-release because of the new physics engine made by Christian Whitehead that you sort of can't do anymore. Don't ask me why I did that. I was really stupid. That was really dumb of me. But yeah, there's some things that I'll make a note of, especially once we get the Quartz Quadrant. There's one thing in there that you can't do in the re-release that you could get away with in the original version, which that leads to another story. So it was 8th grade career day, which just so happened to be my birthday. It happened to fall... Career day, for some reason, happened to fall on my birthday. So, my best friend, who is also a Sonic fan, he had the Gems collection, which was one of the other various old collections that they had that Sega made, which had Sonic the Fighters, Sonic R, and Sonic CD. So that's how I even had much more of an inkling of what the hell Sonic CD even was. So, I go into the homeroom. I'm sitting at my desk, and since we're all meeting up for to go on the bus for the next class, so people are coming in for next class. I'm trying to word this little. The wording's a little weird, so I'm trying to do all this stuff. So, people come in for the next class, so because then after that, we're going to the college for career day. So he comes in, and he hands me this brown paper bag. Now, you're probably thinking, well, why the hell is he giving you a brown paper bag in the middle of class in school? Because inside that was a copy of the Sonic Gems collection. I don't think it was his copy, but I still own I now own the Gems collection, so I now had an actual way of playing Sonic CD. And if you're asking the screen, well, why aren't you playing that version? I mean, it's the re-release is just better all around. Like, and also I don't have a way of recording off of my my Wii, so then we're kind of here with this, which isn't really a bad thing, obviously. Three. That's 3 time stones. Ah. But yeah, as you can no doubt tell, Collision Chaos is mainly pinball themed. But as you can also probably tell, a lot of the refinements that came with Sonic 2 aren't exactly present here in CD, especially in the older versions. Like, the spin dash wasn't like you press one button, you rev it up, and then you go. In the original versions of CD, you had to hold it in order, and then wait for the screen to move to the back, and then you could go. So it's a little clunky, which they've changed that in the re-release. You have both the old spin dash, and you have the actual new spin dash. Which is probably why they added in the super peel out, because like I use the super peel out. I tend to use it more than the spin dash, though I do use it. You'll see once we get to a certain someone. Yeah, right there with the bumpers. In 2, Sonic would instantly turn into a ball, and then you'd have to jump that way. Here, you just kind of stand on them, and then jump to actually jump on them. Again, very, very weird. Ah, Bargain Bin Angel Island. I mean, there's obviously no logic or any sort of thing with the special stage background or something. I just think it's a case of the team just sort of said, hey, what's cool? And then they just drew it. Why didn't I jump there? I recorded this back in December, so it's been a while. Yeah, one reason why the re-release is at least better, because it sort of smooths out the special stages, so it's much easier to actually, like, complete them here. I booted up the Gems collection and played that version of CD just to see how it felt. Like, yeah, this feels much better. Anyway, we're here in Stage 3 of Collision Chaos, and hey, look, it's Eggman. The weird thing about these first two bosses is that they are very, at least the first one is very easy to get it in under 30 seconds. Here it's kind of RNG because it's pinball. Like if I hit that just right and didn't get kind of screwed over there, I would have been able to finish it in just over 30 seconds. But yeah, it's stupefyingly easy. which is sort of a running theme with the bosses here. But that's gonna do it for this part. I'd like to thank you very much for watching. I understand it's a little different than what this channel's been used to, so you know, like, comment, all that sort of stuff. And again, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.